Hello, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome to episode 215 of the GURU Talkin Sports podcast. I am your host, the Guru of Sports. And today is Sunday, let's say April something, 14th, April 14th. Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that on this April 14th, there's a lot of stuff going on in the sports world. And I'm going to be commenting on a couple things. And I want you guys to kind of follow me and stay with me if you can. I really appreciate a couple weeks ago having my man Dave May Jr. on. We talked about baseball in the first week. It's the first Sunday after the start of the season. We usually get together, sit down, and have a good time and talk and joke around. And, it's good to catch up with him. But like I said, he's always working. So I want to make sure I'm respectful of his time. And I appreciate his time that he, comes on. And also, my man Dave Shepard, like I said, an up-and-coming rising star at CBS Sports Radio. And I really appreciate him. But I want you guys to know that I do support him. I support him because, like I said, if I see greatness. I do see greatness in people. And like I said, if I can find a person that can make me think and a person that can make me laugh, then I'm following, I'm basically following and supporting and making sure that they have my support. And I appreciate both of these guys because they're both very, very smart. And like I said, if I can follow them because they're the smartest guys in the room, I'm doing well by myself. Well with my, you know what I mean. Anyway. All right, so we got, there's a lot of stuff going on in the sports world. And like I said, we're only about maybe a couple weeks away from, maybe about a week and a half away from the NFL draft. So you got the NFL draft going on. You got Major League Baseball going on. You got the end of the NBA season going on. You got the Stanley Cup playoffs are going to come up. The Masters is going on right now. You got, UFL. I ain't even, tell you the truth, I haven't even really thought about the UFL. Only thing is that I did kind of between the XFL and the other league that they had, I did pick a team that, I wish that the Birmingham Iron would come back. I really like that team because they, had cool uniforms, black uniforms, silver, a little bit of, kind of remind me of the Raiders or so. But anyway, I don't even really know who's in the UFL. There's supposed to be a game on today, and I might check it out or whatever. But then again, it's going to probably take a back seat to the Lakers and Pelicans that I'm going to try to watch a little bit of today. And also the Nets and the Sixers are going to wrap up today as well. Everybody wraps up. The NBA season wraps up today. Now, I did want to talk about the NBA right now because, you know what, I'm probably going to have to, get in touch with Dave Shepard and Shep. I'm going to say Shep and Dave. Dave is going to be Dave May Jr. and Shep is going to be Dave Shepard because both of them are named Dave. So, David and Dave. So, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try to think about, I'm going to try to spitball on this and try to figure out these standings. Okay, so Oklahoma City, let's go to the West first. Oklahoma City has got, they're tied with Denver and Minnesota. So whoever loses this could end up as the number one seed. So you got Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and Denver. They're all at 56 wins. Now, whoever loses, whoever comes out on top, which will be Denver. They'll probably end up with the 1 seed. But then again, you never know. One of these, these other 2 teams are really, really remarkable. I couldn't believe that Oklahoma City has actually turned themselves around. But you got to look at it this way. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been amazing this year. And my man Chet Holmgren, you guys seen that commercial where they're on, what a player wants, what a player. Anyway, I ain't going to get into that. But anyway, it's good to see Oklahoma City back in the mix of the playoffs or so. Minnesota has been trying to turn this thing around, and, they just got back Karl Anthony Towns. So, they're pretty much primed and ready for a run in the playoffs. Anthony Edwards has been, stellar all year long. So we'll see what happens with these guys. Denver, the defending champions, that they're going to be ready. And more likely, I would say that Denver will probably end up as the number 1 seed. The surprise team for me in this whole thing has been the Clippers. The Clippers, I thought that they would fall apart when they got James Harden because of the disruptive nature of his, and probably crying about the ball all the time. But, him and Russell Westbrook and these other guys have been playing pretty good. So they end up with the 4th seed. They already won the Pacific Division of the NBA. And surprisingly or not, they play pretty good. Dallas is at 50 wins. They clinched their division as well. New Orleans is probably safe right now at that 6th position. I'm thinking if they lose and if Phoenix wins, whoever they play, Phoenix plays, they could probably end up in that 6th position. But the thing is that you want to stay out of that playoff, play in game or whatever it's called. So you got Phoenix at 7, the Lakers at 8, Sacramento at 9, and the Warriors at 10. Now just remember one thing. If it comes down to Golden State and the Lakers, Golden State holds the tiebreaker because of they end up losing to the Lakers, or the Lakers end up losing or whatever what they did. Sacramento is still dangerous too. So you got now whoever wins between Sacramento and Golden State could end up in the 8th position. And like I said, they're going to be flip-flopping back and forth. So it comes down to this. It comes down to this today, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, they're going to have the Lakers and the Pelicans on CB or ABC later on. One of those stations. All right, now looking at the East, you know that the Celtics have won the East. I mean, they've got the best record in the league. They're 63 and 18 right at the moment. But they're probably the battle is actually for that 2nd seed, because if the Knicks win and the Bucks lose, and the Bucks have been horrific here pretty much the last couple of weeks or so. And I can't understand why Doc Rivers have just took over that job and why he just destroyed this team. Because they actually had a pretty decent coach in Adrian Griffin. But they fired him when they were 30-11. And believe me, they only won 19 games afterwards. They should have won more. But then again, you got Giannis. He's been out. I mean, he's, he avoided a scare of a big injury the other night. So you never know. The Bucks have been kind of horrific. They only been 3-7 in their last 10. The Knicks have been really good, even playing without Julius Randle. Now, Jalen Brunson is probably, if I had to vote for MVP, I would vote for Jalen Brunson. The kid is decent. He's good. And believe me, he is basically carrying this Knicks team on his back. Hartenstein and, getting Mitchell Robinson back and all like that. These guys are pretty good. I gotta admit that, I'm not a Knicks fan, and I don't play one on the radio or anywhere or wherever. But you know what? The Knicks are pretty good, and I got to give credit to the Knicks. And like I said, Jalen Brunson should earn some MVP consideration. I really think that they're pretty good with. He's pretty good. Cleveland is locked in at that 4 seed, and there's no one on the East except for the Celtics have clinched the division yet. So it all comes down to this last game. And Cleveland has only been playing 500 ball in the last 10. So we'll see what happens with them. Now, they're locked into that 4 seed. Now, the 5th seed. Now, listen to this. You got Orlando, the Indiana Pacers, and the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, one of these teams could end up in the 5th seed. One of them could end up, or one of them, they could end up 5, 6, 7 or so. But like I said, these teams, Indiana, Orlando, and Philadelphia could be locked into that 5th position. One of those teams will win the 5th position. But you still got the Miami Heat. They're in 8th. They're basically like a game behind the Sixers, Pacers, and Magic. So you never know. Miami could go all the way up from the 8th seed all the way up to the 5th seed. Now, Indiana could jump up to that 5th seed as well. So you got Philadelphia in 7, Miami currently in 8, Chicago at 9, and Atlanta in 10. And my Brooklyn Nets are basically, they're done. They just had a sad, horrific season. Just hopefully they won't lose 50 games. They got to play Philadelphia today. And I am going to watch a little bit of that game. So we'll see what happens with them. But, like I said, hey, this is what it comes down to. This is all what it comes down to. And like I said, that Atlanta has no way of catching anybody else. So, Atlanta's probably going to end up in that 10th seed. Chicago has no way of catching Miami, so they're going to end up in the 9th seed. And like I said, there's going to be a battle from 8 all the way up to 5. And like I said, with Milwaukee and the Knicks, I would rather see the Knicks get that 2 position, so they could probably won't see the Celtics until if they get to the conference finals. All right, so that's it with the NBA. It's pretty good to have another good Sunday with basketball. Now, if you guys were with me last week, we were all hyped up about the NCAA Women's Final Four and the women's tournament. And, Caitlin Clark went out in grace. Or, she was very, very grateful. And like I said, I really liked her. I really, really enjoyed watching her play for the, last couple of seasons. And like I said, I kind of knew about her a while back because, there was some buzz about her, even her freshman and sophomore year. Little buzz. And like I said, I have I really love the women's game. The women's game is very interesting. And like I said, this is a game that is easy to pick up on because they have fundamentals. They have fundamentals. It's good to see them play, basketball the way it should have been played. Not with walking up and down the court, not playing any defense or so. Like I said, hopefully this can translate into the WNBA for a lot of people. And not just saying, well, okay, well, you know what, that was a week ago, Caitlin Clark is done, whatever. Guess what? The WNBA draft is tomorrow. That's right. Jackie Robinson Day, the draft is tomorrow. I plugged that Jackie Robinson Day in there because I am going to be wearing my Jackie Robinson shirt for Jackie Robinson Day. I always make sure that on 4/15 every year that we honor Jackie Robinson. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Anyway, we, like I said, with the women's game, and congratulations to Dawn Staley and her South Carolina Lady Gamecocks. And they won it, and because you got to remember, Iowa looked really, really short and really small. South Carolina girls were tall, and they were aggressive. And it was a great story, great season, and, it was good to see. It was good to see. Also, we have to say that Dawn Staley did a remarkable job on congratulating Caitlin Clark, and I never seen any coach give as much credit to an opposing player than Dawn Staley did. And like I said, Dawn Staley is very, very special. Would love to see her get an NBA job one day, only because she earned it. And like I said, if you know me, Guru doesn't say that other word, just deserve. But you don't deserve anything in this life but an ass kicking. That's the only thing you deserve. All right, so let's get on to the Masters. The Masters is going on, and Scottie Scheffler. And I've been watching a lot of the Masters. I've been watching how Tiger Woods did. He made the 24th cut of his career, which is a good thing, but he's not going to, win this tournament. He shot an 82, which is not really good, especially if you got Scottie Scheffler -7. He's got a 71 through 3 rounds. Colin Morikawa is -6, 69 after 3 rounds. And Max Homa, who I think might win this thing. Max Homa is -5. He shot a 73. I really like Homa. I watched a little bit of his game, and very, 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 very nice. The only reason why I'm watching golf right now is because it's the Masters, and I will watch the 4 majors. I will watch the U.S. Open. I'll watch the British Open, the Open Championship, and the last one. I can't remember what the last one was. But anyway, I will watch them. I will not watch any other golf tournament. I will not watch anything with LIV. I don't believe in LIV. And like I said, if any LIV player is playing and they win, I just don't want to watch that. I don't believe in this LIV Golf Tour. Now, you could say why? Well, I don't believe in it. I think it's kind of, let's say this. I don't know where the money's coming from. And I don't understand, I'm not going to say it's a political thing because I don't know, the details about like I say, I try not to mix politics and sports. We don't mix politics and sports. And like I said, I just don't know where the money's coming from. I don't understand it, and I'm not going to comment on it. But I don't like the LIV Golf Tour. And I won't watch any, if they got a couple players on there, I won't root for them either. Leave it at that. So I do like Cowan Morikawa, and I do like, matter of fact, I like all three of these guys. Not sure who's going to win this thing, but I got a feeling that I like Max Homa. I do like Max Homa. If Tiger Woods isn't winning this thing, I would like to see, one of these guys win it. But all three could earn that green jacket. We'll see what happens. So, all right, like I said, we're talking baseball and stuff like that. And now that we're fully into the baseball season, it's good to see, teams get out there and play. But like I said, we've got a couple of the main guys like Spencer Strider and Shane Bieber. All these guys are blowing their arms out. I don't know why, but it's getting to the point where we can't really watch this stuff anymore. I mean, it's just really, really messed up to see these guys get hurt like this. But anyway, I'm glad baseball is back. I love baseball. It's good to see. Good to see my Toronto Blue Jays get out there and get a couple good wins. The Orioles get out there and get a couple good wins. It's good to see baseball back, period. Matter of fact, I was talking about the USFL or UFL, and I'm sitting up here watching highlights of these. And like I said, this is DC, the Defenders. I actually kind of rooted for them because, like I said, you got to pick a team or something like that, But they ended up winning, and they beat the Renegades or whatever. So anyway, these guys, like I said, spring football is good, but it's kind of hard to compete with all these other sports when there's, sports going on. It's kind of hard. Like I said, I didn't even I forgot it was on until I actually looked at my DVR and it said, DC's Defenders were up there. Oh, matter of fact, I wanted to mention this too. I did get a chance to watch the Ohio State spring football game, which my Buckeyes were in. The only bad thing about that broadcast was that Urban Meyer was on it. And, if you know me, I have a history with Urban Meyer. Yeah, the history is that he came down to Jacksonville, to my favorite team, or one of my favorite teams, Jacksonville, and ruined them. Ruined Trevor Lawrence. And we're going to talk turkey a little bit here right now. We always thought, we think that certain things doesn't affect certain players. Urban Meyer ruined this guy. He ruined him. And he still can't figure out how to get back to where he belongs. But anyway, I'm not going to go into it deeply. But it was good to see my coach out there, Ryan Day. Chip Kelly on the sideline, and now he's the offensive coordinator. We should have a little bit more dynamic play calling. And, with a couple of defensive hammers coming back, JT and, a couple other guys are coming back. Ohio State should be good this year. But then again, it's going to be an expanded, everything's going to be expanded in the college ranks. We're going to see Washington, USC, UCLA, and Oregon in the Big Ten. All the other different changes as well. We'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm really excited about, watched the broadcast and I watched, kind of a couple little things that they were talking about. And I'm really intrigued by what Ohio State will look like this a little bit later this year. And, before I go into one of the other things that I needed to talk about, John Calipari went to Arkansas. I think it was a good move for him. Kind of got stale in Kentucky. But we'll see what happens with it. It might be okay. We'll see. Anyway, just don't forget the play-in tournaments are Tuesday and Wednesday. I think the East is Wednesday. The Tuesday will probably be the West or so. I have to check that out. But I know that the play-in tournaments start on this week after the season. All right, let's talk about OJ Simpson. Yeah, I know. OJ died the other day at the age of 76 of prostate cancer. But a lot of people were cheering and making jokes and, doing all this stuff about, well, he got what he deserved. Notice I did use the word deserved there. I'm not going to the political thing on this, but I can say that I don't know what happened. I'm not going to, I'm not going to speculate or say anything that's going to be out of term. But my gut feeling is that he did murder those two people. And, a lot of times, justice for the people that, were involved probably was not really served. I mean, they should have had more. They should have. I mean, it's just a situation where this is very difficult because it's so much to this. It's a lot to this. And 30 years ago when we were going through this, I couldn't really understand it. I couldn't really understand it, or I was living out in Los Angeles, in California at the time, and it still was shocking to the point where what the hell is going on with this? All the things that led up to this situation with OJ, it's just a crime. It's just, I wrote a couple people and I told them that this was the ending of an American horror story. Now, a lot of people under the age of 30 don't know who this guy was, really. And it's weird because I have a son that's he'll be 19 this year, and I have a son that is 35. He'll be 35 this year. So for the 19-year-old, a 35-year-old kind of knows what's, kind of knew, because he was basically, 6 or 7 or so during that time or so. The younger one, I had to explain this to him because he really didn't know how good OJ was as a football player. Now, when I was growing up in the 70s, I got a chance to see how good he was. And basically, he was a, spokesperson for Hertz. He was a, outspoken, charming actor, played in The Naked Gun and, Capricorn 1, Tower Inferno. He had some very, very good roles. And we all thought that he was going to, be another, icon. But the thing about it is that we don't know these people at all. It goes back to the fact that we do not know these people at all. Like I said, from 1970 or so, all the way up until 1994, we had a different outlook on who OJ Simpson was. From 1994 all the way up to 2024, we have a different opinion on who this guy was. And believe me, from 1994 to 2024, his life, basically, we all saw him in a different light. We didn't care about how good he was as a football player, or as an actor, or as a broadcaster, announcer, spokesperson. All of that gets overlooked. And it's a real shame that we have to sit here today, in this moment, 2024, and look at how one guy changed the way America and everybody in this country thinks. I mean, OJ Simpson was one of the most polarizing and, can't say iconic, can say mystifying, or, any other adjective or sort of describe this guy. But we can't say anything, we can't think of anything nice to say about him. And it's shocking to me. And believe me, I will never say anything ill will of the departed. But how can you say, I mean, I know a lot of people out there are saying, how can you say anything good about this guy? You can't. And it's really sad to where we have to remember him as the bad guy, the boogeyman, the monster that he was. When I lived out in Los Angeles, they talked about how, OJ was the, everything. He was the all-American kid that, was all doing this, all that, and all this, whatever. And it was just so weird. It was just really weird to see one very well-known, loved person turn into this monster. And believe me, he was a monster. I'm no detective and I don't play one here on the podcast. But the thing about it is that there were reports of him beating this young lady senseless. I mean, it's just very much it's just sad. It's just really sad how he treated Nicole Brown Simpson. The way that he brutally murdered them or so. And like I said, I'm not a detective or so. And like I said, I don't know what happened because I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I didn't eyewitness it. But there's no way I could just turn a blind eye and say that, well, I don't think he did it. Is there any proof? I can't say that. All the things, fingers point to this guy doing it. He basically, I hate to say this, he got away with murder. Twice. I really feel bad for the Brown family, the Goldman family. And I feel bad for his family because his family is going to carry the burden of his horrifying acts for the rest of their lives. The Goldmans and the Browns, they're still, it's still not, they're still not going to get over this because they had two of the members of their families taken away from them. And now we just don't know. We don't know. Like I said, there's more questions now than it was back in 1994 and 95 when this trial and when this happened went on. I think it's a real shame. It's a shame. It is a shame, and it is a like I said, this is America. This is the ultimate American horror story, if any, of all time. You got to remember, there was nothing more horrific to see was when, during the NBA Finals, this guy riding down in a Bronco, claiming to kill himself. He said he might kill himself. But we were all glued to the televisions watching this mess. But on Wednesday night, early Thursday morning or so, we found out that, OJ Simpson has passed away with, prostate cancer. But will this be enough closure for the Browns and the Goldmans? Even though OJ said that, hey, well, I'm going to go out there and look for the real killers. But we seen him joking around on the golf course, having a good old time out there just doing what he wanted to do. Free and easy after he got off. For getting away with murder. But yet still, karma finally came around when he was convicted of armed robbery and kidnapping. When he tried to get his stuff back, he wanted his Heisman Trophy back and all that stuff. Where, sports memorabilia, guys were arrested and, they were, the whole story is just ridiculous. But then again, that was karma. That was karma. I hate to say it, it was karma. Now, I do not defend this guy at all. I do not. Because like I said, this is a horrific crime. And, it divided us. It divided us all. Race and everything. I mean, it was just the worst. The worst feeling that this country has ever felt. Not except for basically what we're going through now. And I'm going to leave it at that. But the thing about it is that, it was just horrific. I've never seen anything like this ever in my lifetime. And, I pray for a lot of things in this life. I pray for forgiveness of people. I pray for, that this world can be a little bit brighter and better. But if you listen to this, basically give a prayer for the Browns, the Goldmans, Browns, the Goldmans, and just think about it. Just think about it and give them prayer. Think of them in your prayers. Like I said, now the monster's gone. There will be no more, joking around looking for the real killers or, commenting on social media about his fantasy football teams or whatever. And yeah, I always gave him a shout out saying, shut the hell up because we don't want to hear from you. We don't want to hear from you again. And I don't say this in a negative way, but now we won't have to because, like I said, the monster's gone. And hopefully this could be the end of this story. But then again, if you're over the age of 30, this is always going to be in the back of your mind. This is always going to be in the back of your mind because we all, like I said, everyone over the age of 30 that knows about this, we all have questions that probably will never, ever be answered. rest in peace ago, Ron Goldman, Nicole Brown Simpson. And I can't come to, saying anything bad about OJ, but the thing is that, so be it. He's gone now. All right, so let me get out of here. It touched a nerve. It touched a nerve, and then again, it touched a sense of, wow. Here's all this horrific and damaging stuff coming back again, back around again. And I knew this was going to happen once he probably have left this earth, headed towards maybe hell or so. I don't think that you get a pass for doing what you're doing and basically, get to heaven that way. I don't think so. But anyway, I'm not the one to be the judge and jury in this, because I guess when he left this earth on Wednesday, he had to, answer the questions that probably a lot of us needed to find out or didn't know or know. That was on him. And that's his situation. Anyway, I just want to say thank you guys for listening. And, so like I said, sometimes I have these deep thoughts. And that was a deep thought on that guy. So anyway, you guys take care of yourself. The Guru will be back next week with episode 216 of the Guru Talkin Sports podcast. And just remember, if it's, I forgot the E. I even forgot what is it. The Guru will see you real soon. You guys take care. And like I said, if you if you're listening to this, thank you once again. We'll be back next week. Take care. Later.